Okay, friends. Good morning. Today I am going to discuss about the permanent tissue. In the past class, we discussed about the meristematic tissue. So already we discussed about the tissues. So tissue is a group of cell. So a group of cells which are forming and which are having the same origin and same structure, and they perform a same fundamental function. These are called as a tissues. So these tissues are two types. One is meristematic tissue and second one is permanent tissue. So meristematic tissue is clearly well discussed in the past class. Now we are going to know about the permanent tissues. What is that? Permanent tissues. Okay. Today we are going to know about the permanent tissues. Permanent. Permanent tissues. So permanent tissues, the tissues which lost the cell division capacity, the tissues which lost temporarily or permanently their cell division capacity, then the cells are called as a permanent tissues. The tissue which lost the division, cell division capacity permanently or temporarily, so those tissues are called as a permanent tissue. So these permanent tissues are how many types? There are three types. What are they? First one is simple tissue. Simple tissue. Simple tissue. Second one is complex tissue. Complex. Simple tissue, complex tissue. Third one is special tissue. Special tissue. Simple tissue, complex tissue, and special tissue. So today I am going to explain about the simple tissue. Simple tissue. The tissue which have a same structural functional activities, and which conduct the simple tissue, a group of differentiated cells, which have lost the cell division capacity temporarily or permanently. So these are called as a permanent tissue. So these permanent tissues, there are three types. One is simple tissues, and complex tissues, and third one is special tissues. So if you can see about the simple tissues is also permanent tissue. So the permanent tissue which having the only one kind of tissue cells is called as a simple tissue. So these simple tissues are again classified into three types. What are they? Parenchyma, collenchyma, and sclerenchyma. Simple tissues are classified into three types. What are they? Parenchyma, collenchyma. Okay, parenchyma, parenchyma, collenchyma, and third one is sclerenchyma. Okay, so there are the simple tissue. Permanent tissues are three types: simple, complex, and special. So now today I am going to explain about the simple tissues only. The simple tissues again classified into three types. One is parenchyma, second one is collenchyma, third one is sclerenchyma. So what do you mean of parenchyma? The parenchyma tissue is a widely distributed tissue. It is a widely distributed tissue, and it is the most primitive tissue. It is the mostly primitive tissue in the plant, and the parenchyma is a simple and living tissue. It is a simple, and parenchyma is a simple and living tissue, and the parenchyma is the most primitive tissue from which other than evaluated tissues. So here the parenchyma is treated as a what is that? It is treated as a fundamental tissue also. The parenchyma, it is also treated as a fundamental tissue. Next I am going to explain about the structure of the parenchyma tissue. If you can see the structure of the parenchyma tissue, the parenchyma cells, the parenchyma tissue cells, how they are differentiated, they have the different shapes. For example, the parenchyma tissues, they may be available in spherical shape, or they may be available, they may be in a oval shape, or they may be in polygonal shape. So they may be in elongated shape, whatever shape they will be available in the plant body. Okay, the shape of the parenchyma cells mainly depend on the function only. So depending on the parenchyma's function, the shapes is also declared. Here maybe these cells may be spherical, oval, or polygonal, or irregular, or elongated, like this one. So different shapes we may see in this parenchyma tissue. So the parenchyma tissue normally shows the prominent intracellular spaces. The parenchyma tissues, they contains the intracellular spaces, and cells are usually thin walled. So these parenchyma cells, they contain the thin walled cell walls, and the cell wall is made up of cellulose only. And also the parenchyma cell wall is made up of cellulose, and also each cell has a central vacuole and abundant nucleus. Central vacuole, and also it is surrounded by the vacuole and nucleus. It has the large nucleus and vacuole, central vacuole. So it is surrounded by the thin layer of the peripheral protoplasm. So it has a large nucleus also. So these parenchyma tissues are four types. What are they? First one is chlorenchyma, erenchyma, water storage tissue, and also food storage tissue. So there are four types of parenchyma tissue we may see. So first one is chlorenchyma, and second one is, first one is chlorenchyma, second one is, okay, first one is chlorenchyma. Chlorenchyma, and second one is erenchyma. And third one is water storage. H2O means water storage tissue, and fourth one is food storage food storage tissue. Okay. The parenchyma, it is again classified depending on their function. Depending on their function, the parenchyma, it is classified into 4 types. First one is chlorenchyma. So chlorenchyma, actually this chlorenchyma type of the chlorenchyma parenchyma tissue, it is distributed in the leaves only. It is distributed in the mesophyll cells. So it is distributed because the mesophyll cells, what are the in the leaf anatomy, we may see 2 types of cells. One is polysaid cell, and second one is spongy cell. Polysaid cell and these spongy cells, the spongy cells, they contain the intercellular spaces, but the polysaid cells, they don't have the intercellular spaces. Even though these 2 types of cells, they have the abundant chloroplast. So these chloroplast having tissues are called as a chlorenchyma. So this chlorenchyma tissue, they can participate in the photosynthesis procedure. Then automatically by this photosynthesis procedure, they can synthesize the carbohydrate with the help of with use of the carbon dioxide. So this is a process done in this chlorenchyma. So the chlorenchyma tissue, it is present in the mesophyll cells of the mesophytes, and also the mesophyll cells. Some of the succulent plants, stem tissues and also leaves tissues, they would like to conduct the photosynthesis. So this tissue is called as a chlorenchyma. So the chlorenchyma tissue, it is also parenchyma tissue. So this parenchyma tissue, it has the thin cell walls and abundant chloroplast. Hence they would like to participate in the photosynthesis. So these abundant chloroplasts are very much in polysaid cells and spongy cells of the mesophyll cells. So this is something about the chlorenchyma. Then second one is erenchyma. Erenchyma, for example, in hydrophytes are hydrophytic plants. The erenchyma, some of the tissue, they would like to store the air also. So with the help of this air, some intercellular space of the tissues, intercellular space in hydrophytes, the intercellular space is completely fulfilled with the air. Hence, due to the presence of the air in that intercellular space, those plants, they can show the aeration. Aeration and buoyancy. Aeration and buoyancy. So this tissue is called as a erenchyma. Then third one is water storage tissue. So for example, this water storage tissue we may see in xerophytic plant. So these some xerophytic plants, they contain the succulent leaves. They have the succulent leaves. So in these succulent leaves, this tissue, the mesophyll cells, they would like to store the water, because during the daytime they completely close the stomata. If they can open the stomata, automatically by the transpiration procedure, the water will lost. So during the daytime in this xerophytic plant or succulent plants, the stomatas are completely closed. So due to hence the plants, they can survive themselves, and also they can store the